Biden administration has once again entered UNESCO under a new regime that calls for, quote, independent regulators, end quote, to silence speech internationally and against the objections of U.S. lawmakers. Please take a moment to subscribe and follow the James Anthony Report. Doing so helps us reach more people and keeps this all going.
That is why one has to come back to international human rights standards and to the elaboration of these standards that has actually taken place in the UN system, in other international bodies, where there are very clear standards set out as to how you identify hate speech.
In case you missed it, the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, known as UNESCO, is pushing for something called an Internet of Trust.
The states have an obligation not only to respect human rights, but to enforce human rights.
The Orwellian measure put forth in the report released last month will admittedly target, flag, and stop any speech that expresses concern over elections, public health, and what the agency calls mis, dis, and malinformation.
The Inter-American system has adopted an international human rights law understanding in which more information, counter-speech, pluralism, and education should be the answer to the deterioration of the public debate. It's more than content moderation. We have our democracies deteriorated in the public sphere.
Twice now, the United States has left UNESCO, once under President Ronald Reagan and again under President Donald Trump, due to things like funding and a general distaste for American values.
That our eternal allies in Eurasia are turning against us. More nests of conspirators and saboteurs have been uncovered.
Not shockingly, the Biden administration has once again entered UNESCO under a new regime that calls for, quote, independent regulators, end quote, to silence speech internationally and against the objections of U.S. lawmakers. You see, anything that stands in violation of UNESCO and the UN's Universal Declaration of Human Rights will be banned by multitudes of stakeholders that of course include governments, businesses, and not-for-profits.
And here there's a challenge. Yes, it's international, but it also includes corporate as well as states. It includes civil society, ordinary people. So there are many, many ways in which we have to do it.
And one of these very things is the freedom of expression as outlined by the United States Constitution. A good example of the difference lies in the member nations themselves and those in positions of leadership, several of which include CCP politicians who are expected to follow party orders even while helping set guidelines that affect the rest of the world.
In the face of the thought police, they cannot act collectively. Individually they cheat, forge, blackmail, corrupt children, spread disease and prostitution in the name of spreading knowledge from generation to generation, until in 1,000 years,
but perhaps the most interesting aspect of the calls by the UN to crack down on conspiracy theories is the fact that the push to usher in a one-world-style regulatory agency is no longer a conspiracy theory. This is James Anthony reporting.
Digital platforms should be responsible for developing the tools and capabilities to detect harmful content as prescribed in international agreement, set out in international standards. This monitoring capability, including how and what is targeted, should be verified by a regulatory authority.
Boy, do we at the James Anthony Report have something special for you. Just in time for the holidays, we're proud to bring you our newest sponsor, Primal Life Organics. Take that first step in getting your body right with these high-end, junk-free, and affordable paleo-friendly natural products. Dental detox kits, teeth white, brushes, moisturizers, lip balm, and so much more. All clean. And these guys even have a sample section if you're unsure. I can tell you personally how much this company helped me when I had my dental issues a few years back. The tooth powder really works. And the best part is, no toxins. Gentlemen, My wife uses the paleo-friendly, gluten-free, vegan blueberry serum, and let me tell you, there is something about the aroma. She laughs, but it's true. The scent is just amazing. If you don't know what to get for the holidays this year, here it is. The James Anthony Report has you covered. Just click the link in the description below or head on over to jamesanthonyreport.com/sponsors. We're bringing you the absolute best with Primal Life Organics.